Hey guys, it's Fred. You know that old saying, can't beat 'em, join 'em. Well, I think I'm going to start letting Mr. X here give me some content. You can look at it different ways. You can look at it as a thorn in your side, a stalker. He's a romancer. I don't know what his issue is, but I've got to quit. I got to quit letting him bother me. I ain't gonna say that it ever bothered me. He's a sad individual, all I can say. But at the same time, I'm gonna start using his content for my content. Still not gonna acknowledge him or name him, and if you don't care, don't do it in the post. For those of you that know who he is, and most of you on my channel know, they're more familiar with him than I am because they've been on this Buford Pusser research a whole lot longer than Sheila and I, so they're familiar with this guy. And what I want to do here is play a video. I want to show how the reason I come up with some of the things that I do as far as having a mental issue and so forth like that. Now, you got to remember, he has since taken a bunch of his videos down, or YouTube. He says YouTube removed a bunch of his videos. I don't know who did it. I have a feeling it was him, especially on the one where he was over the top, where he made threats. Guys, I've been a police officer for 40 years, or I was. I know what a threat is when I hear it. It wasn't made necessarily toward me. It was made toward the people that Mike Elam had named in his video. And he was taken up for Mike Elam. And made some pretty serious threats. Once I called it out, made a video and asking for the authorities to check on him and so forth like that, he took the video down and since has been trying to redeem himself. Now, at the end of this video, I'll show you how this person's mind actually works, and the reason that I say that there might be some mental issues there, because he's that wishy-washy. He changes from 1 minute to the next. Let me let you hear this video that he made. Let's promote him a little bit here and give you a better understanding of what this fella's like.
Just taking a break in between sets. And a lot of times those breaks in between sets, thoughts come to me. Just sitting out in my garage, which I've converted to my crazy organized chaos gym, and listening to the rain on the tin roof of the garage. Best Buy metal garage tin roof put on there by BJB Roofing and from Birchwood, Tennessee. That's where that roofing company's based. Anyway, I'm near Cleveland myself, but a lot of folks say that my videos sometimes seem mean or hateful or whatever. Folks, I'm just a loud country boy. When I'm talking regular, people think I'm smarting off to them.
Now, people know when somebody's smarting off. People knows when there's a threat. This guy's he knows that video has been reported, and now he's trying to cover and just say that he's naturally loud. That's not correct, but let's go on. Let's let Mr. X finish.
I don't mean a thing by it. It just, I guess my manner, my demeanor, but I don't mean a thing by it.
You didn't mean nothing by when you told those people that you were the crackling or something. I'm not into all this stuff, but the crackling he said he was the crackling, and they was going to reap havoc, that he was going to stand up for Mike and Oakley, and he was going to do what they couldn't do, and different things that he made threats towards these. If you fool with Mike and Oakley, you're fooling with him. And then he's holding a gun, and then he's talking about spreading these freedom seeds, he calls them, talking about referring to bullets. Let's let him go on, because now this is how you're backtracking. This is a man that's backtracking.
And when I do think I'm being firm, when I do seem firm and guff about things like I'm trying to make a point across, if it does feel like I'm being hateful, I'm not being hateful. it's out of love.
Oh.
When I say things, it's out of love.
Oh.
When I
So he was the crackling, and he was going to reap havoc on these people that's upset Mike Elam. He's going to reap havoc on them, but it's out of love.
correct folks who do content on me, responding to my content, it's out of
Responding to my content. And that's how all this got started. Responding to his content, that he responds to other people's content. You can leave your opinion. You can have an opinion. You can have a YouTube channel. You can do that. You just can't threaten people. And you for sure can't threaten them with bodily harm or freedom seeds or guns.
love. Folks, I'm an ordained minister.
An ordained minister, guys. This man wants to stand there, and you wonder what's wrong with religion today. You wonder why our churches are not filled like they once was back in the old days. You wonder why people quit going to church. This man, I want to show you something at the end of this video that this man has put on his channel. But he tells people he's an ordained minister. I've got it wrote down in my notes here after what I'll tell you, but Fred McCoy is a Christian, but I'm a sinner and a half. It's all I can do to try to stay straight. And no way I'm going to try to tell anybody I'm a minister. I do good I embarrass my Lord and Savior to death probably for the way that I act sometimes, but you'll never hear me say, you'll never hear a lot of people say and not act like this. God says, I'm going to show you in a minute, but he says, you be lukewarm, I'll spew you out. But let's go ahead with this, because me and this guy's had some interactions here in the last couple of days you might find interesting.
And I believe in tough love, realistic, reality-based Christianity.
Well,
and one of my
Christianity says, love thy neighbor as thyself. That's what it says. What's the most important commandment that he was asked? Love thy Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, and soul, and love thy neighbor as thyself. You know, me and this guy here had some words a while back, and I offered him to raise some money in Adamsville, coming up with the Buford Pusser Festival. And he's declined, of course. He's come up with every kind of excuse he could, but it's okay. But my brother had sent me a text, and it said, well, I can't show it to you. It's on my phone. I'm filming with my phone, but it said, God said, love thy neighbor, Fred, not to beat him up. My brother knows. He knows. But let's go on.
main influences, he sure was a tough love preacher. But that don't mean it's not done out of love. And, you know, I'm not trying to preach to everybody in every video or anything like that. Just know that my videos are out of love.
Okay.
I love each and every one of you. I don't lie about that. When I say at the end of my long form videos, I love each and every one of you. God bless you. And I'll catch you next time. Don't matter what platform I'm on. I mean it, folks.
Yeah, he means it, guys. I'm going to show you. See, I believe in actions speak louder than words. These are words. These are words, and they sound real good for a YouTube censor to look at after reviewing his video of where he's the crackling and threatening people. Two totally different people, guys. If you've seen that video, you know what I'm talking about, for those of you that saw it. But if you didn't, you're looking at two totally different people. You had one where a man was going off the edge. He was going, and now here he is. He's an ordained minister, and he loves everybody.
And folks, if I do seem like I'm correcting a lot of times I'm calling myself out.
Oh.
I'm correcting myself. I'm holding myself accountable.
Oh.
Because after all, you got to practice what you preach.
Oh.
You got to practice what you believe.
Got to practice what you preach. So in a minute, I'm going to show you again. I'm going to start doing content regularly. He's doing it on me, so I might as well. What's fair for the goose is fair for the gander. We'll both end up in the pits of hell probably someday from all this nonsense. But that's just That's I don't know how else you. I'm like Paul or Peter in the Bible. I wish I was stronger. I wish I could do things, but I'm not. I'm weak when it comes to Christianity and pleasing God and the Bible. I'm a Marine and a 40-year career police officer, and I just get, there's something about bullies. There's always, when I was in school, I was a little bitty fella, and some of these bullies would pick on some of my buddies that were overweight, and they would pick on them, and they would call them fatso, and they would call them names or four eyes, and if they wore glasses. And I was a little bitty fella. That's how I learned to fight. I learned to fight early because I would stand up. I didn't like to see these other guys being bullied. Guys, what you see right here is a full-fledged bully. This is as bullied as you can get. And I'm going to show you, if you'll stick with me through the video. I don't know how long it'll be. I'm not going to try to rush it, but you'll see. I'll prove my points just like I do on everything else. This is a bully. Nothing but an overgrown, overweight bully. This is not the ones in school that, see, when you got overweight kids in school, some of them turn into bullies because they're bigger than everybody else, and some of them get picked on because they're humble, but they have something wrong with them that the other kids want to make fun of. I didn't go for that. I didn't like that. This one right here, though, would have been bigger than the rest of the class. This would have been your class bully. Loud, overweight, big, and this was your bully. But I'm going to go on. I'll prove it before this video's over.
It's easy to give advice, but it's hard to follow your own advice.
Isn't it, though?
I love y'all.
Yeah, we believe that. We believe that. Now, let's go to the next one here. This is his latest video. Now, before I play this one here, I want to set it up for you. I want to set it up for you. I had asked this guy. He has started several Facebook. I have one Facebook page, Fred McCoy. Have one page, or I had one until this guy came into the picture, and now he has started me probably about 6 or 7 Facebook pages. Some of them's got women's pictures, some of them's got other pictures, some of them's got my picture. But he started, and he's asking people, he's friending people like he's Fred McCoy. Well, I don't send out friend requests. I never have. You'll never get a friend request from Fred. I go on there for Marketplace, and now I go on there for the Buford Pusser pages that I joined, where I joined the Buford Pusser. I've been into that since they held this frivolous press conference on Buford and such. But me and this fella, he just kept going till I realized, I know that he's a bully. I know he's also got some mental issues. There's no question about it. There's people that's been on these pages for years and years that's well acquainted with him from years ago. So it's not something I just came up with. It's something they had already realized and confirmed my thoughts. So I asked this old boy, since he is a bully, you know, the best way to do a bully, I have found out in life, is to call a bully out. If you want to stop a bully from bullying, offer to oblige him with his bulliness. A lot of these people, the bigger people, the overweight people, the bully people, they're so used to bullying, they're so used to picking on people, nobody ever calls their hand. And I found out that they don't know how to back the bulliness up. When they're called out, they just don't know. I won't tell the story, but I know this. I know this through history. I know this from personal references. So I said, hey, let's raise some money for the museum or the Adamsville Police Department. Let them put a ring up down there in May, and let's me and you put on an exhibition. This man says he's a martial artist. Now, Oakley Dean Baldwin said he's a 35-year retired police officer, got locked in a dollar store and had a coronary. Mike Elam says he's a retired sheriff, or implied that he was a retired sheriff and never corrected anybody when they quoted the story. But yet both these men are not telling the truth. This man here says he's a martial artist. I watched some of his videos thinking he's teaching blocks and so forth, thinking he's working on a heavy bag, and I don't see it. I could be wrong. I may I may get educated. It could happen. Anything's possible in life, but I don't see it. I don't see this man as a martial artist. He's not shown any kicks. He's not shown any weapons. He's not shown any self-defense techniques or any moves. Guys, everybody's not martial artists. I'm not saying everybody should be Marines, everybody should be martial artists, but if you say you are, if you're going to use the Marine Corps slogan, improvise, adapt, and overcome, especially made famous by Clint Eastwood on one of his movies, if you're going to use that and you're going to let people think that you're a Marine or that you've military, then prove it. If you're going to say that you have several styles of martial arts training, then show something. Show something on the video. He's not done that. And now he's been called out to say, hey, let's raise some money for the museum. Let's raise some money for Adamsville Police, for Toys for Tots. Let's raise some money. I don't care about the money. That's just let them. I believe people would pay to see David against Goliath, because that's what you've got. Now, you're going to see when I get to my notes here in a minute where he makes the comment. He said, oh, I can't do that. I'm 6'1". He's only 5'7". Okay, I'll sign a release. He's 70 years old. I can't do that. Okay, I'll sign a release. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it if you are. If you're worried about my well-being, I appreciate that and very kind of you, but I'll sacrifice myself and I will sign a release, not holding you responsible. You just go in there and do your best, and if I carry a whooping home, I'll carry a whooping. It won't be the first one. It won't be the first one, but my last fight in the ring lasted 28 seconds, but that's been a few years ago too. That's been a few years back. I don't want to get on here and do like him and start bragging, and I certainly don't want to scare him off. But some things never, it's like riding a bike. Some things you never forget, and especially when you've had a 40-year career in police work and teaching martial arts and promoting martial arts. We used to have our own sports production where we promoted full contact karate fights. We trained fighters and fought with fighters, and so I believe I'll be okay. I'm glad he's concerned about me, but now he's made this video here because I'm going to show you in a minute where I asked him the other day, are we on or not? Are we on? Well, he deleted it off of his post where nobody could see it. I'd already photocopied it, but he deleted it. And then on this show the other night, somebody was arguing with him, and I didn't watch it. And they text me and they said, this guy thinks I'm you. So I logged on as Fred McCoy. I mean, me and the other guy both was on there at that time. And they cut it short. The video was, I guess, ready to end. But I asked him there, are you going to meet in Adamsville? And he said that he wasn't going to raise no money for the museum. And I said, raise it for the police department, fire department. He said he's not going to do none of that. I said, well, shucks, don't worry about raising money. Let's put it on as an exhibition. Put it on as a entertainment for the city of Adamsville. We don't have to raise no money. We'll do it for free. I'm in for free. Just to give this bully the attention that he wants. He's a bully, and if he wants to show what a bully he is, that would give him the opportunity that I thought he was looking for. But let me let you hear this, and then we'll go to something else.
What do I think about the Buford Pusser Home and Museum now that the TBI report's been released, and now that the District Attorney General Mark Davidson, the TBI, David Roush, and the University of Tennessee Martin announced in that joint press conference that Buford Pusser most likely killed Pauline, and they would seek an indictment were he alive today, which is about as far as you can go with a cold case because the suspect is dead. But anyway, what do I think about the museum now? Well, I don't think I'm going to go. I don't want to see the museum close, but I want them to take a section and honor Pauline.
Guys, if you've not been to the Buford Pusser Museum, Pauline Pusser, Dewana Pusser, Mike Vance, Diane Vance is all through that museum. I don't know how much more you could honor Pauline. They've got her bedroom and Buford's bedroom fixed up with their clothes laying out, their shoes, their makeup, their hairbrushes. They've got Dewana's room fixed up where you can look in it. They've got Mike and Diane's room where you could look in them. It's a family museum. This is a Buford Pusser family museum. Everywhere in that museum is memories of his life and his children and his wife. I don't know how it could be any more Pauline Pusser than what it is. It's a family house, a family life. This man didn't remarry. This man's wife died 7 years before him. He had 7 years. I've seen people remarry in 6 months to a year, and that's okay. It's up to each his own. But this man went 7 years, never remarried. Oh, they said he was woman crazy. He was cheating on this one. He was cheating on that one. He was woman crazy. Never remarried. Buried beside of his wife that they say that, or this guy here tries to say that he murdered. Do the math.
The truth in the TBI report and let people decide for themselves. Until then, they won't get any money from me, no way, no how.
And that's what he's referring to. No money from me, no way, no how. He's trying to say no to an exhibition match between a bully, a big bully, and a little man. He's trying to say no. He's using that for the excuse. Not going to get no money. I'm not going to try to raise no money for them. Okay, let's do it for free. We'll do it for free. That's okay. Let's go to the next one here, guys. This is the video that you just watched a while ago. And he's talking about how he's an ordained minister. And I had wrote him this. I've got it blown up over here. I had mailed him, texted him that, posted it on his video there, where it talks about wolves, be leery of wolves dressed in sheep's clothing. And if God says, if you're lukewarm, I'll spit you out. Well, see, I'm not just throwing this at him because this fits me too as far as lukewarm. You can't ask people to do exhibitions with you, even if they are bullies, even if they are loudmouths, and please God. God says, love thy neighbor. And so I'll love them. I'll love them while we're in there putting on an exhibition. I'm like him. I'll love him and he can love me, and we can get in there and we can show our abilities, our training, and let everybody else be the judge. Now, and I asked him here at the end, I said, what did you decide about helping Adamsville with the fundraiser during the Buford Pusser Days in May? I need to know so I can start to promote the event. Reference martial arts exhibition, full contact match. I mean full contact. I mean go at it, full contact. Anything's possible except spitting and biting. We'll put some spar gloves on. No 16-ounce gloves. No, just go in there and have at it. Let this bully have his way with little old Fred McCoy. That's what I plan on doing. He can do anything he wants other than bite me or spit at me. And I'll do him the same. Anything goes. And let's just see how it works out. You know, this man talks about size, about how big he is and how little I am. But he must not realize what martial arts, how it came about, what it's all about, and who it favors, which is the little person more than the big. I don't know why he's concerned about me for. Now, you know, here's you something that is confusing, because that's Buford Pusser on the left, and he put him on a red shirt, and he wanted to symbolize or compare himself to Buford Pusser. There he is on the right. You guys know who he is if you're familiar with that channel. Why is it that Mike Elam and Oakley Baldwin, this guy here, Mr. X we call him, we're going to call him Mr. X, and I've said I'd like for him to put one of them little bathing suits on like Andre the Giant wears. Got that little strap going across one side of your body. You can Google Andre the Giant and you'll see his costume he's got on. He'd look cute in one of them little costumes. He could even put a mask on like they do in WWE. He's everything else. He's a firearms instructor. He's a martial artist. He's a country singer. He's an ordained minister. Anything you say, this man here, and he believes anything that's in a book. He don't realize that people wrote those books. Human beings wrote those books. It doesn't make it true just because it's in a book. But he likes to compare himself like Mike Elam's got his office, his little cubicle all fixed up with Buford Pusser memorabilia, but yet that'd be like me worshiping and honoring Charles Manson, Jeffrey Dahmer, some of these, Ted Bundy. How much sense does that make? This is your nemesis, this man you hate because he murdered his wife, but you want to don a red shirt and be like him? I would want to be like anybody but him if I thought he was a murderer. That's not a good... But there he is in his red shirt imitating Buford Pusser. Why would somebody who says they hate Buford so much want to be compared to him? I don't know. This is nothing more than an oversized, overweight, overloud bully. Now, this guy has asked to take all my Facebook pages down. He's got a petition out. YouTube's smarter than that, first of all. YouTube's in business. They don't do stuff like that. So I'm not worried about his little petition. In fact, somebody said, why don't you start a petition on here? There it is. I'll sign a release. Somebody said they would sign petitions if we'll get one started. We don't need no petition on them, guys. Just if you know who it is and you click on one of his YouTube videos with the firearms and stuff and he says something out of line or does something out of line or handles that weapon safely, flag it. All you got to do is right click and then report it to YouTube. Report it. Let them check it out. If they get enough complaints about his firearms and his freedom seeds and so forth and all these different things that he talks about, militias and how he's going to, well, anyway, he says he's 6'1" and Fred's only 5'7". I can't fight Fred. He's only 5'7". I'm 6'1". Okay. I fought bigger. I fought bigger than that, big guy. I've arrested bigger than that. So, in fact, later on, I'm going to show some pictures. I'll try to dig them pictures out. Maybe educational to them. I'll sign a release. Fred's 70 years old. I'll sign a release, guys. Says he's a preacher. I'm a struggling Christian, doing my best, but I'm not going to try to fool anyone. I'm a sinner. That's me talking, guys. I'm a sinner and a half. It's all Sheila can do to keep me in line because I'm a Marine, I'm human, and I'm outspoken, and especially the older you get, I don't think it's been outspoken. I think you just have a lesser tolerance for BS. You just don't. This man says he loves everybody, but yet he's a bully. I'm going to show you at the end of this video. He says he loves everybody. Actions speak louder than words. I know a bully when I see one or hear one. This guy here is a bully. And coming up is just going to be more proof that he's a bully, attempting to shut down an American veteran's social media page and channel when he himself has never even served in America's military forces. Unbelievable. He's trying to shut down my First Amendment right of freedom of speech. Me, an American veteran at 17 years old, right out of high school, I went into the Marines. This man's never served. Never served. He likes to use that Marine Corps slogan. He likes to do these different things but he's never served. But he believes in America, he says. Well, part of America is the Constitution of the United States. That's what makes us. From the First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, it goes all the way down. You got to accept them all. But he says he wants to shut my social media page down. You know, that may be a blessing. I don't think it'll happen. I think YouTube and all these people are smarter than that, and they can see through this guy. But in fact, I look for them when they start looking at the different channels and pages that probably it may be the other way around, because I don't make threats. I don't do that. That's just not Fred McCoy. It's not the way real people act or do things. If you want to get in the ring and put up an exhibition and let people see, then that's one thing. But you can't get on there and threaten people with guns or physical violence, or I'm the Crip or whatever he calls himself. Listen to what he tells his viewers. Listen to the bully. Give them an ultimatum. Some have said, start a petition and shut him down. Coming up in this next thing here, you're going to see. And listen to this bully, how he gives his viewers and his Facebook friends the ultimatum to either do what he says, or I'm going to block you. I'm going to delete you. No time for that. But you can flag and report all of his gun videos to YouTube. If you want to do something and you know who this is, switch over there, go to his channel, give him a thumbs down on his videos, and then flag the video or report it for the unsafe use of the handgun, for things that he says about the militias, for things that he says about going to plant freedom seeds in people. Reference Buford. If the evidence is there, it's there. How can I change evidence, guys? This man's upset. He says that I need to be taken off of YouTube because I'm a cog in the wheel, something. That's what the sheriff called me one time. The sheriff said, Fred's a cog in the wheel. I was a cog in the wheel because I wouldn't let him protect certain drug dealers and arrest others. A cog in the wheel. I don't know what this guy called me. He says that I'm standing in the way of getting justice for Pauline. Standing in the way of getting justice? Where's the evidence? All you've got to do is show Fred and Sheila the evidence that proves beyond a reasonable doubt. Not that you could get an indictment, not that you could, one person opines, not that one person says that it looked like it was staged. That's nonsense. That's not even something a real prosecutor or a real police officer would even fall for. How in the world let's don't get off on other subjects. Buford. If the evidence is there, it's there. How can I change? I can't change the evidence, guys. I just tell you what I see. As a 40-year career police officer, I look at this stuff and I say, hey, this couldn't have happened, that couldn't have happened, or this did happen. There is no evidence, folks. There is none. That's actually the truth. There is no evidence. The TBI lost any evidence from the 1967 ambush. They've lost it. They lost the original file, if you can believe that, and then stand up there on that stage and say what they did. Look at Buford and Jim Moffitt's so-called statements. Someone has now placed a TBI label on them to make them look authentic. You know, I've complained from the beginning. No letterhead, no witnesses, no date, no transcribed by, no Buford or no Jim Moffitt signature. Nowhere did they sign it. Now, the other night on that video they were playing, they had this symbol right here. They had that symbol at the bottom of what they're calling Buford Pusser's statement. Now, that statement there was either written up by Warren Jones or maybe even Mike Elam on a 1960s typewriter. Buford Pusser's so-called comments, along with Jim Moffitt's comments. How'd they get that? Where'd they find that at? Because if you'll look at the videos Sheila and I've done, those files have been missing since at least 1976 was the last time anybody seen them. They're still looking for them today and still looking for the evidence today. How all of a sudden did Buford Pusser's, because the originals, the ones we got, don't have this on it. But now somebody along the way has stamped this on the bottom of so-called Buford's statement. How do you get that, guys, in 2025? That's an illusion. That's deceit. That's deceit. Now, here's the man that's an ordained minister. This is one of his videos that he has on his site. Now, see, I don't fear YouTube taking my videos down or me off of social media, because I reported this video to YouTube. I reported it because you're making a sexual, and that's where Mike Elam, if you've noticed Mike Elam's videos lately, when he comes up and calls us, or calls people that support Buford Pusser's innocence, he calls us Pusserphiles. Pusserphiles. That's what he's doing that for. Because we took offense to this. The family should take offense to it. He's referring, just like Mike Elam referred to, Mike Elam says that Pauline Pusser was a go-go dancer, an exotic dancer, a stripper. That's what he heard. When we asked him where he heard that at, he couldn't tell you. He can't tell you where he heard that at, but he heard it. Guys, when somebody tells you they heard something and you ask them, oh, really? Where'd you hear that at? And they can't tell you where they heard it at, you're looking at the person that made that story up. Mike Elam made that story up, that Pauline Pusser was a stripper. He made that up. Just like Mr. Howell says that somebody told him that Buford was, well, he actually says he saw it. He even went as far as to say that, well, I saw it. The 18, a .18 that his blood alcohol was after he wrecked. There's nothing like that ever existed. Nobody has ever seen that because it's never existed. And it was spoken into history by somebody that couldn't tell you who told them. Now, he says, I saw the paper. Now, we've got a video out. We asked him where we could find it. Oh, I don't know. Well, you saw it, but you don't know where it's at or don't have a copy of it? That's made up, guys. That's what this case on Buford Pusser is all about. Now, here's a man that was never convicted of a crime in his life. Now, I turned in 5 sheriffs, 4 sheriffs here in Kentucky to the FBI. They went on and investigated them and ended up arresting them, and along with a police chief, and I think even a deputy sheriff. But we also turned in our sheriff, myself and Detective Hatfield, the 2 highest ranking officers in the department next to the sheriff, turned in our sheriff. I would have no problem siding against Buford Pusser and saying that he was a murderer if the evidence was there. But I didn't see that on that stage that day. I saw 2 men up there trying to deflect questions from the reporters to see the report. I saw 2 men up there saying, he opines, this doctor opines that this could have happened. This person thinks that it was a staged scene. 2 people. One person opines and the other one thinks it was a staged scene. Guys, and don't beat it all. Those people are expert witnesses who gets paid for their opinions. Was Sheriff Pusser a pedophile or necrophiliac? Was he? We have to stop believing everything we're told. Demand to see proof, physical evidence, not comments spoken into history, but proof, guys. You people that watch Mike Elam's page, that's okay. Watch entertainment, do whatever you want, but make it challenging to him. Don't make it so easy for him to just, for you to drink the Kool-Aid. Make it challenging. Ask him some questions. And when you ask him a question that he can't answer or for evidence that he doesn't have, watch what happens next. He's going to block you. He's going to block you. And he's going to say you're a Pusser fan. You're a naysayer, he calls them. Or now it's a Pusser file. These guys have made up these stories and lied so long that they don't think twice about saying anything. It comes as second nature to them. The only way to stop them is to call them out on YouTube, on Facebook, on all forms of social media and platforms. Please start asking for proofs. All you have to do. I don't want to hear this. Oh, that was on a police video I had. Somebody was trying to say that white cops were racist and this and that. And guys, I don't go for that racist. That's something else there. But I don't go for the racist stuff. I'd rather you go watch somebody else's video. If you're going to post stuff like that, them days are over. Them days are over. They're gone. There is your If you've ever seen a bully in your life, there he is. Now, I blacked out his name there. He's still not hard to find. You do your research. You can find out who it is. I'm just not going to plug him. I gave him a dislike there on his video. You'll see where it says 8 comments when I commented. Actually, it went up to 9 comments. But if you'll click on that picture there and click on the comments, you won't see this one here from Fred McCoy. That's been removed. He took that off so other people couldn't see it. But he's full of love. Guys, I'm sorry. I know this boring. I probably don't have 2 people, if that, watching it. But I wanted to throw it out there for him, for Mr. X here. I wanted to just say, hey, because the other night when I asked him, are we going to meet in Adamsville? He said, no, I'll see you in your dreams and on YouTube. So I'm thinking, shucks, he's not going to put on an exhibition because he doesn't know how. He doesn't know. This man doesn't know how. He doesn't know what he's doing. I've seen him work on the heavy bag. I've seen him stand out there and try to, if you know where his videos are, go back 3 years. Go way, way, way down on his videos and you'll see this man. So this is it. All I can do is respond. You don't have to watch these videos when you see them come up. But for every video that he does, I'm going to do 2 or 3 on that one. And if he does 2 or 3 on mine, I'll do 6 or 8 on his. It's my channel. If I get entertainment from it and I get 10 clicks, I get 10 clicks. Because he says we're having a feud. He wants to throw that feud in there with Fred McCoy. In fact, he puts Fred McCoy on everything because Sheila and I found the I-75 shooter out on I-75. Sheila and I've we looked for some missing children and had some pretty good success with different cases that we've worked on. Thank the Lord. Not through anything Sheila and I have done. The good Lord, he just used us for his, and I don't look for him to use me anytime soon for anything because, you know, God says where there's confusion, he's not going to be part of it. And so I'm sure he's not pleased with me right now. But he uses Fred McCoy on all of his tags where he can get that. You can Google Fred. You want to know who this is? Just Google Fred McCoy 40. You'll see him come up because he tags his videos in with anything Fred McCoy comes up with. And that's why he's doing that for. He's trying to build his. He's got 200 people on one channel. He's got 4,000 on another. He started out with 3,000 until he started after me. And I guess he took some of the attention from that. Sorry to ramble, guys. I just want, because you know, if nobody else is listening, he is. I listen to his videos. He sends them to me. He forwards them, so I get them. So, of course, I watch them. And then I'll continue to do that. Maybe he'll continue to watch mine. I prayed for this guy the other night. I actually said a prayer for him because I think he needs, I need everybody's prayers. Everybody needs prayer. Nobody should ever turn down a prayer, but to say you're an ordained minister and then to talk and act and put content on the internet like you do is shameful. I'm a sinner. I'm a sinner by everything God tells us not to be. I'm probably it. I'm a sinner. Don't pay no attention to anything I say or do, people, because I'm a bad influence. One thing you won't ever hear me do is tell you that I'm an ordained minister or that I'm representing God when I'm posting bad things on other people. That's more than, if Buford Pusser ever done anything wrong in his life, believe me, he's paying for it now. God knows all. We're not getting anything by God. We don't have to. He's dead and gone. His wife's dead and gone. It's over. The only thing people wanted out of this Buford Pusser story was fame, fortune, and name notoriety. And they're getting it every day. Sad, but true. I'm hoping that all of them are remembered for the bad that they did in this and where their heart was at, because it wasn't in doing justice for Pauline. No more than Oakley Baldwin said that she had a child out of wedlock and mama's baby, daddy's maybe. And then he says, we got justice for Pauline. Really? You just accused her of having an affair while she was married to another man, having a baby from another man. You just accused her for that. But you got justice for Pauline because you wrote a book and you're selling a book with that name in it. Guys, you're some sad people. If you don't realize it, if nobody's had to tell you that you're some sad people, you're sad. You may think because you carry a badge, because you carry a title, because you're a law degree, because you have podcasts, because you write books, you may think, oh, wow, this is great. We're getting all kinds of attention from Buford Pusser. Well, if you've wrongly accused them, and I believe you have, at least the evidence doesn't show it. There's no evidence that shows what you guys are saying. And that means you're coveting and you're put a black mark against his name. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one.